In the late 1970s, Ford decided to go front-wheel drive with the most popular European model, the ESCORT. This was a huge step, completely new platform for the new generation model. Mark I and Mark II Escorts were very popular. The people just adored them, all variants, but especially the sporty RS versions. They were just amazing, little nimble and beautifully looking cars. Cars even which won many rally races. So how you gonna go with something very successful to completely different way? They did it. Ford took this risky step to go from rear-wheel drive to front-wheel drive platform, and in 1980 the very new Escort was presented with front transversely mounted engine and of course front-wheel drive. But on the end, we have to say that was the right time for this change. Hi guys, I'm Kiri, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna talk about the front-wheel drive Mark III Ford Escort RS 1600i. This car is based on the two-door Ford Escort and was developed by the German Ford Motorsport. Was in production only for 2 years from 1981 to 1983. Ford planned to build only 5,000 of these great cars for homologation purpose Group A, but they ended up with 8,659 cars built, of which only 2,600 for the UK market. These are very interesting cars today, because they rocketed up in value. Currently, there are some examples for sale, but the price starts from £40,000 and going up to 50, 60, even more. These cars are rare and high value. From all the 8,659 cars built, I don't think today more than half of them existing. Because in 1980s and 90s, mostly young drivers been dealing with these fast Fords and many of them just being crushed and scrapped or simply rusted. So keep an eye on them, because we know what's happened with the Ford Sierra Cosworth prices. And in fact, the RS 1600 is much rarer than the Cosworth. We know it's a front-wheel drive car, not like the Sierra rear-wheel drive, which is more desirable, but I think the new generation car enthusiasts, they appreciate equally front-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive cars, simply because they grew up with mostly front-wheel drive everyday cars. For early 1980s, the RS 1600 was expensive car compared to normal Escort 1.1 or 1.3, even more expensive than the other sports model from the same time, Escort XR3 or later XR3i. The price was 6,700 British pounds, where XR3i was 6,030 pounds, so some 670 pounds more, or just 10%. But there was a reason for that. Instead of 105 horsepower for the XR3i, here Ford Motorsport division managed to extract 115 horsepower, so 10 horsepower more. New head and cam was developed, same as the race cars, which mean the engine could rev higher, aided by solid tappets. Front suspension was revised as well with front anti-roll bar, and all RS 1600 were equipped with 5-speed manual gearbox. The very reliable Bosch K-Jetronic injection was responsible to feed the engine with fuel. But the most iconic thing of this car for many car enthusiasts is the look. The black rubber spoilers, the graphics, the stripes, the very distinctive alloy wheels makes this car absolutely dream. With maximum speed of 119 miles per hour or 190 kilometers per hour and acceleration 0 to 60 miles per hour or 96 kilometers per hour just under 9 seconds, this car is still very attractive today. It's not everything about speed and acceleration. It's about how it feels the car, and the weight is very important. So RS 1600 Mark III Escort weighed just over 900 kilograms. So the weight to power ratio is brilliant, 122 horsepower per ton. That's why you feel the car very fast, especially on the corners. And that's why you enjoy this kind of cars. Ford made them only available in 5 colors: Sunburst Red, Black, Graphite Grey, Strato Silver and Caspian Blue. And our example here today is in red, which for me is the best color for this car, because in combination with the black rubber trims and spoilers and the graphics is just very beautiful. Many people saying there is no big difference between the RS1600 and the XR3 or XR3i, especially XR3i, but it's not like that. Performance-wise, really is no big difference. XR3i accelerating to 60 miles per hour or 96 kilometers per hour for just over 9 seconds. RS1600i is just under 9 seconds. Maximum speed XR3i 187 kilometers per hour or 117 miles per hour, where RS1600 just 2 miles per hour more. But everything finished here. RS1600i is more sporty, and the rarity is the important factor as well. Just to give you an example, in 1983, Ford sells over 22,000 XR3i cars and just approximately 4,000 RS1600i. 5.5 times more than RS1600i, but the price was important as well. And also, XR3i was more refined car, more easy to drive for every day than the RS1600i. In October 1984 was presented the final update of the special limited cars, which we can say even was the successor of RS1600, the turbocharged RS Turbo. Ford planned to build again 5,000 units, the minimum number required for homologation in Group A, but again, because of the increased demand, Ford built 8,604 cars RS Turbo. Again, very cool looking car like the RS1600, but this time almost every RS Turbo was painted in white. The turbo adds some 17 horsepower more, so 132 horsepower instead of 115 from the same 4-cylinder inline 1596cc engine. But performance-wise, the RS1600 wasn't far from RS Turbo. Even XR3i was very close to them. I'm saying this from experience, because I'm owning at the moment XR3i, which is Mark IV 1989, but is the same power like the Mark III. So if you put the three of them to race, you need to be very good driver to extract the maximum from the RS Turbo. But for the Ford enthusiasts, the RS1600 is the real deal, the most wanted car, the original motorsport car. For the early 1980s, these were the most wanted Fords, together with some Capri models. But RS cars were pinnacle. Even before that, 1970s as well, Ford Escort Mark II, RS 1800 and RS 2000 were the top European Ford performance cars. I'm gonna mention again with some sporty Capri models. After that, Ford went to Cosworth and they created something crazy. Everyone knows the very desirable today Ford Sierra Cosworth, which came middle of 1980s and was the best sports Ford car to early 1990s. Then came the legendary rally-winning car Ford Escort RS Cosworth, which was Mark V Escort. Now let's go back to RS 1600 Escort Mark III, as was the official name of the car. Very interesting fact is that from the time the car arrived in 1981, the RS 1600i originally was equipped with 15-inch alloy wheels, which for that time was huge size. Even the bigger model, the Sierra XR4i in 1983, was with 14-inch wheels. Not to mention great cars like Lamborghini Countach on the same time, which was with the same size tires, 15-inch, the Porsche 944, the same size. Ferrari were with the TRX tires, so in metric size, 390mm, which is 15.3 inches. So very, very similar size. Maserati Biturbo was with 14-inch alloys, but 2 times more powerful. Even early Ferrari 308 GTB was with 14-inch alloys. Mercedes as well with 14-inch. BMW 323i with even 13-inch alloy wheels. Volkswagen Golf for 14, and also the Ford Escort XR3i was with 14-inch and tires 185/60/14. So the 1981 Ford Escort RS 1600i was equipped with tires 195/50/15, very low profile sporty tires for early 1980s. I think the original tires with every Ford Escort RS 1600 left the factory in 1981, 82 and 83 were Dunlop D4 which of course are not anymore in production, but some owners are very fussy about originality and they have original set of these tires, which they using only for show events or exhibitions. Ford is a brand loved by many people, but on the same time for many people is just average normal cheap daily car. We need to say that Ford Sport Heritage is unbelievable. They won almost everything. Ford engine is the engine which won the most Formula 1 races and many times was world champion. Won many rally races, Le Mans races, NASCAR, IndyCar, you name it. So you never underestimate this brand. Never mind how many great road-going cars they made. Everyone knows the legendary Mustang and GT or GT40, the European RS200, Sierra Cosworth or ESCORT RS. They're just amazing piece of engineering and performance. Next time when you see a Ford with RS letters, even Focus RS, bear in mind that this is a proper car. Maybe they don't build them interior-wise to very high standard, you can find them very cheap inside, but this doesn't matter the real driver. And I think this is the right way. You don't want proper sports car and on the same time luxury inside. It doesn't go this way. Sports cars need to be Spartan inside and equipped with just what you need. Simple as they were back in 1960s or even early. If you want a luxury car full with some unnecessary stuff, buy other car but not sports car. So for 1981, Ford Escort RS 1600i was a proper sports car with just over 900 kilograms but respectful 115 horsepower from a race engine. In fact, when you open the bonnet, the first thing what you see is the motorsport on the top of the engine, and that gives you the nice feel. You have something very special. All these things in combination with the chassis and the suspension makes this car very serious on the track. If you put this car next to, let's say, E21 BMW 323i, which is 143 horsepower, 2.3 liter from 6-cylinder inline engine, but with only 6 miles per hour or 10 kilometers per hour more maximum speed, so 125 miles per hour or 200 kilometers per hour for the BMW, and the same acceleration, approximately 9 seconds, on the track the RS 1600i will be far ahead, thanks to everything what this car has. And if you wanted to buy one of these and go to the official Ford dealer, you wouldn't find, simply because it wasn't for sale at the official Ford dealers, but was for sale at the special Ford racing departments. Even today is very special car. So guys, if you like the video about this 1981, 82 and 83 Mark III Ford Escort RS 1600i, please subscribe my channel. See you next time, bye!